Hello, this health talk is about glycemic index and glycemic load. And please remember, I'm not a doctor, a medical professional of any kind, dietitian, nutritionist, or even a scientist. I'm just an educated man learning about health and sharing what I learn with you. If you are in need of medical advice, please contact your doctor or whatever person is appropriate. If it's about nutrition, I don't recommend the average doctor because they are not trained on nutrition. Okay, so there is something that's pretty well known, I think, and it's called the glycemic index. The glycemic index tells us how much sugar is in a given food, which suggests, in a very vague way, how much of a spike in blood sugar there might be. It doesn't tell us, however, the release time frame. And that's a problem, because if you have 3 different foods and one has a high glycemic index, but it releases that food very slowly, which would be complex carbohydrates, then you don't really need to worry about that one. If another one has a high glycemic index, but it's kind of a complex, it's kind of processed, however, so it's in between. It's not a true complex carbohydrate because it's been partially processed by us. That would have a bigger spike, but the release and the decline would be slower, and that could potentially, depending on where exactly it is on the scale, cause some ill effects. Now the other one would be simple sugars, and simple sugars would be the ones that would have the highest glycemic index and would cause a rapid blood spike and then a rapid decline. And those are the ones that could potentially be the most dangerous, because if you're constantly loading yourself up with these simple sugars, you could wear out the beta cells in your pancreas. Okay, so as you can see, one of the problems with GI is that it is a poor indicator of how the food will release carbs into your bloodstream and over what duration. For example, any food with a low GI is going to release sugar slowly, but food with a medium or high GI may have a completely different level of release. This is measured using glycemic load, which is GI, or glycemic index, of the food times the number of carbs in the food divided by 100. And that gives us that percentage. Low GI and low GL foods release slowly into the bloodstreams, bloodstream, which reduces the chance of an epileptic seizure, sudden onset of feeling very tired or sleepy, feeling hangry, as well as all the other negative consequences of a big spike of sugar in your blood for yourself mentally and physically, and for your pancreas. So I hope that helps you to understand. There are lists out there that show you the glycemic load of foods if you're interested in finding out whether the food you are eating is potentially going to have some risks for it for you or not. Do keep in mind that if you have a high carb diet, a high fat diet is not advisable, because there is a problem between the two of them that will eventually lead to diabetes. So that's it about glycemic index and glycemic load. I hope that helps you. And if you have any questions, leave them in the bottom. Please remember, I'm not a medical expert or a scientist, just somebody who's trying to share knowledge. Have a wonderful day. Stay healthy. Thank you.